Welcome back to the WatchTower Film Podcast, the film review podcast on the Towercast Network by cinephiles for cinephiles.
Like you.
Isn't it? Do you disagree? Are you not a filer of cinema?
You dig?
Are you not entertained?
We are back.
We are.
If you noticed, we're cut and lean and not from our bodies, but from the set. You know, we're missing our Halloween vibes, but we're back to traditional fall. There's a pretty little tree. Where is it? Right there.
Yep.
So
it's an olive tree.
It's an olive tree. You know, it just represents fall in nature. I don't know.
I get it.
But we're back, and we are kicking off Sci-Fi Month at the WatchTower Film Podcast.
With this film?
Sound less excited.
With this film?
With this film.
And I picked this.
You did pick this, and I think it's an interesting bridge out of horror month, out of Halloween month into this, right? I think it's an interesting bridge. So,
sure.
Before I introduce the film, I must introduce my fellow co-host, Mr. John Eric Oster, offering an acting perspective.
Woo!
I definitely got some thoughts on this one for sure.
Absolutely. Mr. Michael Lalaw, offering a cinematography perspective.
It looks good.
Oh, gosh. I must introduce, that's like an 80s sitcom thing. I must introduce the people in the back, making sure we're sounding and looking good. Miss Meg Tovar. Our fellow social media analyst, specialist,
and photographer today.
Photographer today. She's running around with camera.
Yay!
So look forward to more posts and stuff of the set. I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know what she's cooking up.
She cooking.
Last but certainly not least, Mr. Eric Sanchez switching on the board today.
Looking like a
Giving that
bank
a
robber.
shot. Fucking around.
Hey.
This guy, man.
Our fellow horror,
a
resident horror expert, just liked being around the sets. He's like, fuck it, I'm just going to come down.
We got him.
You know?
We got him.
I'm coming down.
I hope you're coming somewhere. I'm your humble film servant, Carlos M. de la Torre, offering a writing, directing perspective.
Yeah, you do.
We are back. We're here to talk about Yorgos Lanthimos, 2016?
2010.
2010.
Yeah.
Wow, that feels new. It feels newer.
It feels.
Is it? Just to be sure.
Yeah, you double check the year of the film. I
said-
thought 2010. I thought it was a little newer than that.
Yeah.
2013,
I don't know if you can
2016,
also
something like that.
pop the IMDb for it on
This
the screen.
is very
but-
true
I got
because
you.
we're
While she's
we're
doing
looking at
that,
ourselves. I didn't realize we're looking at ourselves.
No, but
Yorgos Lanthimos The Lobster.
The
not even gonna try to say
Lobster. Very interesting pick.
You picked
by me.
this
I don't know
film
why I complimented my pick. Very, very fascinating choice, but
because you care about the film.
I do. I care about it
It's
very much.
actually 2015.
2015.
My apologies.
Close.
Meg, you can drag OBS to you, and then you can drag
Yeah, we don't
IMDb
even
to
see
us.
this.
I got
Essentially,
you.
there
Wow.
you go. That way you can see what's going on.
Hi,
Yeah.
And then
muchísimas
we can
gracias.
see this.
Nice.
All
We can
right.
see Yorgos.
Yorgos Lanthimos, who, you might seen Poor Things
The
more.
Lobster.
Most recently, you saw Kinds of Kindness. Hopefully, that one I think people slept on. I saw it. I thought it was great. He's got a new film out with Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons
He
again.
also did
Bologna?
Okja,
Which
right?
one?
Okja? No.
No, I'm sorry. That was
That's
Bong
director Bong.
My bad.
Bad cinematographer.
It's because it has the same color palette.
It does.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the Yorgos is known for The Lobster, Killing of a Sacred Deer.
Oh, yeah.
He did that one.
He did Killing of a Sacred Deer
With that
right after this.
weird
Actually.
kid from
From Saltburn.
Yeah, 100%.
The Burns.
The Burns. But no, yeah, Yorgos, most recently, I think his most kind of known film is Poor Things because Emma Stone won an Oscar for that. Mark Ruffalo did incredible in that. And it was this incredible kind of feat of this epic of a film with very interesting cinematography, very interesting textures. But this is Yorgos' first English-speaking feature. He did like a 50-minute short film of that was already English-speaking. But
Starting to make sense now.
He's, I want to say he's Norwegian, if I'm not mistaken, Yorgos. Okay. Maybe not. But he did other films in his native language, and this is The Lobster's his first English-speaking feature film.
Not bad.
Very interesting. And then he's only really done English-speaking films from then on, if I'm not mistaken.
But wait. I know the audience wants to hear this. I got to stop it. I need to know what you guys saw this weekend. Real quick.
Oh!
Real quick.
Absolutely right. Where is he? Greek. He's Greek. Yorgos is Greek.
You were way off, dude.
Begonia. Begonia is his newest film. Begonia.
Yeah, that's the one I was telling you about. The alien. Oh, dude.
Yeah,
it looks very
it's
interesting.
like a big pharma CEO with
Yeah.
Emma Stone playing this big pharma person and shit. Oh, he did The Favorite as well. The Favorite is a big favorite of his. No pun intended.
Ouch.
What did we watch?
Yeah, what did you guys watch this weekend? Or yesterday?
God.
I'll go
don't
first.
know. Yeah.
I watched two that were relative polar opposites, but nonetheless both kind of interesting. I watched Friendship with this comedian that you guys like,
Tim Robbins,
and Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd. He's very rude. No, it was interesting because this film's marketed as, I think it's marketed like this typical bromance comedy. This I love you man type of deal, right? And it's not that. It's this.
I feel like that
weird.
It's not that for you.
No, I don't think it's that period. In fact, it's not that. But I can say that with confidence. It's not that period. It's this offbeat, quirky, existential piece on friendship and when you're kind of left out of the friendship bubble.
I'm still intrigued to watch
It's very intriguing. I'm not saying it's a bad film. It's just weird as shit. And I think it accomplished what it did. The only other person who in the room I think saw it is Eric, and you might have an opinion on this. Friendship.
Yeah, basically, I mean, it's a movie where like you're at a party and this like the socially awkward dude.
Oh
comes
yeah,
in
yeah, you
and
told me.
says something outlandish that has nothing to do with what you're talking about with your peers.
Hello.
And
Oh my God.
they made a whole movie about that guy, like that
Essentially,
sticks
yeah.
with them. So yeah.
But it's just strange. It's just really strange. I mean, that's the best way to describe it. The only thing I can compare it to personally is like something like Being John Malkovich. Like,
What about The Lobster? You wouldn't compare it to that?
No,
I feel
no.
like...
maybe the dialogue a little bit.
yeah.
Maybe the dialogue a little bit for
I'll
sure.
kind of get into why I feel it.
But go watch Friendship. I think it's still an interesting watch. The other film I watched, I'd never seen it before. I kind of went back. It was just like scrolling and came across it. I'm like, well, I haven't seen this. It's been on my list forever. I saw Sean Baker's Tangerine. Sean Baker did Anora most recently, won an Oscar for Anora. But he did, he's did the Florida Project and Red Rocket and all these films. But Tangerine was one of his first features. If I'm not mistaken, it was the first feature.
And an iPhone, right?
Shot on an iPhone 3GS. I think, I think it was a 3G because this was like 2010,
Oh my God.
2011.
Whoa.
No,
And
2015.
2015
Yeah,
Tangerine?
Yeah.
I think it was the 3G or the 5G, one of those two. But they shot in an iPhone. Essentially, it's about these two prostitutes, transvestite prostitutes, essentially. And
A lot of Anora there.
it's about sex workers. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's about sex workers and kind of their dynamic. And the premise is one of the sex workers gets out of prison after 28 days, jail out of 28 days, and finds out her boyfriend's cheating on her and is just like hunting all over LA to beat his ass.
I like that. Okay.
And it's, it's kind of just takes it in beats like that, but it's very interesting. The only thing that bugged me about this film, it was done really well, was the color grading. I don't know if it was because of the iPhone thing. I don't know if it's just the color's really, really strange for me. It just didn't feel right. Very green, super, super green through and through.
I'm looking at Delo right now, and he's like,
I don't know what the intention was behind it, but
I think, it's almost like leaning into that like poppy color that like, or very eccentric color you would see on maybe like
an LA block or whatever.
Yeah, or like because you got to think of color doing two things, right? Like in a film, it's meant to complement the scenery, but the other one, it's meant to accentuate things. And I mean, the fact that like heightening the contrast, or not only the contrast, but the saturation,
the
way
saturation,
it did,
that's the key word. It's super
yeah.
saturated.
I think highlighting that shows differences in characters. It shows the like intensity of characters. So I can understand. I can feel like there's some intention behind it.
Yeah. Well,
Even
look,
just looking at it right now.
Sean Baker's a voice, and this is where I think you start seeing his voice. I'll say this, and because I do think at some point Tangerine might deserve its own episode, just like the Florida Project, just like Red Rocket. But I'll say this, and then we kind of move on because I want to hear about you guys' stuff.
Yeah.
But what I found the most interesting about Tangerine is the Duplass brothers, Mark Duplass and Jay Duplass, they're the indie heroes. These guys are like the biggest advocates for indie cinema, and like they're such talented filmmakers, extremely talented, but they're super nuts and bolts, basic indie filmmakers. And what they did was they discovered Sean Baker through one of his films going around festivals, and they kind of connected. And by the time he was getting Tangerine ready, he wrote a letter to them because I think Jay Duplass was like, "Hey man, when you're ready for your next film, like we'll help you out." And they were already established filmmakers at this point. So
Okay.
he reached out, said, "Hey, I got this thing." They totally believed in it, and they basically gave him $100,000 to make the film.
Wow.
Just like out of their own pockets, and said, "Here, go make this film, and it'll be really good." And it went to Sundance. It really launched Sean Baker's career. Anyways, it's done extremely well. It's the first film I've seen shot on iPhone that I say, okay, all right.
Yeah, I'm looking at
That's Red Rocket.
Oh,
that's
shit.
Simon Rex.
You didn't watch 28 Years Later?
I haven't seen any of the 28s.
I haven't seen it yet either, but I've watched a lot of like the cinematography breakdowns.
But you're talking about a 10-year difference in iPhones. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know, but we're also talking about the fact that it's becoming a viable technology, and also
Being the operative word.
Yeah.
But if they were using some shitty iPhone 10 years ago, and it's still impressively telling a good story, I think that's my point. I think most people are using iPhones now in the way they were intended. Like, it's finally coming around to a decent sensor, right?
Well, also the fact that like more than just a sensor. I mean, there's a lot of inherent problems. Like, I'll go on a quick tangent. There's a lot of inherent problems when it comes to cell phones and capturing like video or photos, because it's a fixed focal length, meaning that
100%.
it doesn't change at
Right.
all. And so when you zoom in or zoom out, you're actually like distorting the image. Like
That's important to note.
Yeah.
You and I, when we go scouting, we use the iPhone on the Blackmagic app.
Yes.
And that seems to give us a little bit sense of control.
yeah.
But, for instance, Tangerine was filmed on a iPhone 5S using an anamorphic adapter.
Okay.
And the Filmic Pro app. Filmic.
Yeah, yeah.
It's essentially what the Blackmagic app
Yeah.
is. So, and they had like the Steadicam smooth thing, whatever. But the anamorphic, that's the key thing, right?
Yeah.
It's allowing you to.
Have the different perspectives. and all
Well,
that.
I saw it. I think everything works, except I think it's still a little tricky with the special effects. Because in one of the scenes, it just doesn't look good.
Is it cheating? Is it a gimmick? Is it a marketing gimmick to say this was shot on an iPhone body, a bored out iPhone with $50,000 lenses?
Speaking of segues, Castro, what did you watch?
My bad. I watched Stephen King's new film, or adapted.
Oh, right.
The more serious, grounded one, right?
The Long Walk. It takes place.
The Long Walk, the one with Luke Skywalker.
Yeah. Oh my God, I didn't even realize. Wow, he's such a good actor. That's pretty good. But no, it's actually pretty good. I just didn't know it because he's the general, but
Yeah.
he doesn't look like him. But it's pretty good, man. It's just about like,
A Long Walk.
yeah, it's like 100 people that sign up for this long walk who could do 350 miles, and then there's a prize at the end, but only one person gets it. So it's all about building trust, and then somebody has to win, right? So somebody's gonna have to backstep somebody.
I love the idea that Stephen King was sitting around his house one day and looking at Rat Race, the comedy.
Kind of, okay, kind
I'm
of.
thinking,
say-
how can I make this serious?
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
gonna say he was looking at his kid playing Fortnite, and he's like, "Imagine if that was just walking, like
For 2 hours.
But it's pretty
Who
good.
directed this? Who made this film?
The Long Walk? I got you.
The Long Walk.
By the way, did you guys know that I think some theaters I think Cinemark, I don't know, some theaters, they did a
Oh, yeah,
promotional
yeah.
thing where like
Very smart.
They took away all the seats and they added treadmills, and the whole challenge is to watch the whole movie walking.
Wow.
That's cool. What do you guys think about
I mean,
that?
that's an experience.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's an experience. Some of it's going to be talked about, especially when it comes to like marketing a film. I also heard that they were really keying in on how much walking the film required. So I remember seeing an interview, and they were saying, "Oh yeah, the whole crew and the whole cast walked a total of like 12 miles a day or
Cooper
something
Hoffman
like that."
was
Wow.
in this. I like Cooper Hoffman. He was in Licorice Pizza. He's Philip Seymour Hoffman's
Yeah.
son.
Oh, really?
That's Philip Seymour Hoffman's
great
son.
actor. Great actor.
I like him a lot,
Yeah.
man. I think he's super talented.
Yeah, there was something like I don't know if you guys go down to the fun facts, but like there was something like the whole cast and crew had to walk.
12 miles.
Yeah, like
Mark
a
Hamill,
day,
Judy
and it was
Greer.
like a 30-day shoot. So like every day they were just walking,
And
walking.
it's a pretty brutal movie for real. Like,
Who did? What else has Francis Lawrence done? The director. I don't know that I know that name.
Oh, out of curiosity, like just for I don't think it's a spoiler, but
oh, she did the
so-
Red Sparrow.
if anybody stops,
Got it.
like they're out, right?
they get 3 warnings of 10 seconds, and you got to think about it. This goes on for like 6 days, so you gotta.
So there's no sleep. You have to just
there's
keep.
no sleep. So
No.
I mean, they sleep, but they sleep walking because they have to, right? But then you also got to go to the restroom. Sometimes you get sick. You start throwing up.
You said it translated to like 6 days of walking?
Like around 6-7 days from what I remember.
Really? That's interesting.
So you start getting delusional. You start.
I've been wanting to check it out. It seems just like a really fun, unique premise. Like
For
I
sure.
don't feel like anybody's really tackled that.
That's fun.
Anybody
else?
Yeah, just to, I guess kind of like finish off on this side, and then we can go over there if anybody wants to like throw anything real quick. I subjected Meg and a few others to the Officer Down, which was
dear
this
God,
crap
that's
movie.
right.
So the whole story
For your
with that,
birthday celebration.
yes. Well, for the whole thing was that basically my dad went into Big Lots when they were closing down and said like, "Hey, how much are the movies on the rack?" And the guy was like, "Dude, $50 and I'll give you everything that's there." So he just got a bunch of seasons of Master of None. Like,
I love
Hey,
no,
Master
but
of
it's
None.
only
What?
season 1. I have a bunch of them if you want.
I
Just
love
a
Master
couple.
of None.
I'll take one.
That's one
Yeah.
of my favorite shows out.
So like we got a bunch of that, and then I remember like going through, and some of them were like really crappy, like rom-coms or like straight to TV, like Hallmark movies or like really crap cartoons.
Oh, man.
But then there was like a pocket of just really good crap, like really like one was
Jackpot.
called Plaguers, which is about space pirates fighting alien zombies. Officer Down, which is an officer that every time he dies, he gets revived to keep being an officer of the law. Oh man, I'm trying to remember. Oh, there was like one that it was like when a mission's impossible, they call him, and it was like Clicker or something like that. Like it was really weird. But anyway, I was like, I just want to throw on one of these random like weird films and see that.
Might as well.
Yeah. So if you ever have a chance to watch Officer Down, awful movie with like the best theme song because
Okay.
it stuck with all of us. That
it
like,
really did.
It's catchy.
It's also
Officer Down.
important to note that the who made this film is essentially the clown from Slipknot. And Slipknot is kind of sprinkled out through this whole film. Like Corey Taylor plays a weird
That's
fucking
cool,
role,
that's cool.
and the music, a lot of the music is done by them or by him specifically, the clown dude. And it's just got all these weird cameos, like the dude from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh yeah, dude.
And,
Dennis.
Dennis
Oh,
is
Dennis
in it.
plays.
Oh, I think.
Like a British or
Yeah. He plays a
Australian
British
dude.
guy, and the thing is that he goes into a monastery with nuns and says, "Hey, my boss is tired of waiting for you guys to supply inventory.
Yeah.
So expensive." And then the nuns are like, "Do you even know what we sell?" And then they pull out all these guns and
What the
shoot them. Yeah, it's so weird.
just
It's a
weird.
very
Dude.
random movie.
And there's like a lot of fucking head in this movie, by the way. A lot of oral sex.
Oh, there's
a
Definitely.
lot
an
of fellatio.
there's an orgasm counter that it sits on like the right of the screen, and
counts how
every
many?
time the officer is going to town,
I might watch this.
And
I will lend you the Blu-ray.
Yeah, and then
Please.
there's because you probably won't be able to find it anywhere else. And
Yeah.
and there's also like a weird like overlord trio of animal pig wearing masks people that control this whole operation, and they're just like they're called the Fortune 500.
It keeps getting
You got
weirder.
a 4.2. Oh, out of 10. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that tracks. Anyways, yeah, Officer Down. It's a fun little weird dumb watch.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Burn it if you buy it. I don't know. I made the law burn it.
You really did, right?
No, I haven't.
No, but
Wait a minute. Wait.
It's still cinema.
You
Well,
have
anyway,
it with you?
keep talking. Keep talking.
Yeah, just this Officer Down one is just
I like
for
the
the
song.
law's birthday. He basically said like, "Hey man, can we just get together and watch a couple movies, but like trash fucking cinema?" Because once upon a time he suggested us to screening Sharknado, me and Austin,
Oh,
and we're
really?
like, "Nope, never
never
again,
tried
pal."
it.
And he was like, "There's 6 of them." And it was like, "I don't give a fuck."
There
You
has-
can,
really?
yeah,
Ooh, Officer
that
Down with an
cover.
E.
Officer Down.
Down with an E.
Officer Down. It's just the strangest thing. So go watch it. I mean, it's one of those things to. Oh, and it's based on the graphic novel that this same dude made.
Of course it is.
Comic book. Anyways, yeah, Officer Down. Did you guys
It's a
watch
badass
anything
gun.
interesting?
Terrifier 1 and 2.
Nice.
Because I was like TikTok, I was like, oh my gosh, you're so scary. I watched it, I was like, bro, that's like breakfast for me.
But
No.
was there something cool about it? Because it became.
I mean, it was super popular. Absolutely.
Dude, overkills. It's like,
overkills.
so you know in the horror rule, you do not hit the villain once. You have to hit it twice, so it's like dead. He was doing that to the victims.
Nice.
And out of nowhere, he's like, you know how the monsters have like a knife and like
Their own little.
brother pulls out a gun and shoots everyone. I was like,
That's
it's like Officer Down, but like a popular favorite, like an icon.
Okay,
now. So
okay.
it's like, yeah,
That's
it was
fun.
crazy. It was fun.
Eric,
Terrifier's for all kids, you know.
Yeah.
Actually,
Terrifying.
it is. Like a lot of kids like it.
I mean, Eric was the first one to tell us about Terrifier because, like,
True.
he was like
This
super
was
hyped about the third one coming out, mostly because it was funded independently, like stupid low budgets for the first two.
Yeah.
And then finally he got a pretty sizable budget for
the
three,
three.
right? And that was kind of the whole thing, is that growth of this franchise essentially. Because Universal picked it up, right? Universal owns it.
No,
No?
it's it's I think who distributed it. It's called Cineverse.
Let me look
Ah,
at it for
okay,
you.
okay.
And,
Cineverse is-
so
The
what happened
Cine-
is that the first movie was, I don't know how they got the budget, but it was super low.
Yeah.
The sequel was it was just as low. I mean, it was just
Yeah.
crowdfunded. I think it was like
Yeah.
$200,000, and they made over $10 million in the theaters. And it was only supposed to stay for 1 week, but theaters it's bringing a lot of people, and like they prolonged its stay at the theaters, and
Dude, the
I was
first
really excited for the third one. It was
the first
lots of
Terrifier
fun.
had $35,000
Of a budget. Wow.
For Terrifier
Crazy.
2, they have $250,000,
There you
and
go.
in a box office, it made 15 mil.
50 mil, jeez.
Of course, they were gonna make a
And
third one.
the third one, what was the budget
the
for that?
third one, let me see,
They knocked it up for 10,000.
I only asked the
$2 million.
Well, there you go. Of course, that's a sizable budget.
Yeah.
Is it
Yeah.
the same director across all three?
Damian
We'll see.
Leone.
Yeah.
Yep.
I wondered if Universal picked it up because Universal Studios, the theme park, is doing a Terrifier like haunted house. So I think they distributed. I have a feeling that Universal distributed the third one.
I've heard
It was
maybe
still
I'm
Cineverse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's wrong because they don't want to. If a film company picks it up, they're gonna limit the director. So that's why they were like fighting of like I don't
Maybe.
want to get bought.
No.
There's also licensing
Well-
deals. Like they like for
Uh-huh.
instance, Marvel before it was Marvel, it was licensed by Universal to be in theme parks and shit like that. So I mean, they may have just licensed Terrifier to put it in a theme
I
park.
think so,
Speaking
too.
of segues,
Why are you rushing cinema talk, bro? You got somewhere to be? You got a hot date?
no, I know that we.
I feel you.
All right,
That's
we're
true.
here to talk about
The laps.
The Lobster to kick off Sci-Fi Month. Why?
I like me lobster.
You fond of me, Lobster?
You found it.
So I will say the lobster. I
Explain yourself.
chose.
You sure did.
Explain yourself.
I made a conscious decision one day. No, So I think this is an interesting one to kick off Sci-Fi Month. I feel like every time we do these genre films, like or genre months, one thing is we're trying to deep dive into the genre. So we usually find things that are really, really strong in that genre. But I'd like to also think that we're trying to find things that open the envelope a little bit to
Right.
people. I think when people think of sci-fi, like I've known people in the past that like say I hate sci-fi films. Like they're my least favorite genre. I don't like all the aliens and explosions and the all that kind of stuff because
Right.
it doesn't make sense to me. Like why it's like
Sure.
a weird space fantasy and they don't get it.
Right.
And I think this is a great intro to show that sci-fi is not so much space and these big galactic epics or
Right.
like futuristic weapons and all that. Sci-fi is just placing yourself in a fictional future where like technology or society progresses and now we're looking at the effects of like that progression. And what's interesting about it is that it takes normal concepts and brings them to a maximum. Like, hey, if there is, let's say, politics, what is politics going to look like in 1,000 years when it fully progresses?
Yeah.
And then you have things like an
Yeah,
empire.
big
You know?
big concepts thrive in the sci-fi genre.
Yeah.
Big concepts, because even horror, as it's kind of outlandish as it can be in that genre, it holds like pretty contained
Yes.
concepts. But sci-fi is where you can dream big, right? Sci-fi is where you can expand on an idea.
You wouldn't put it
Pretty
as a subcategory because sci-fi. I feel like it's still.
No, it's just it's using
I'm trying to think of like something else.
This
that
is
you would
maybe
call-
like I don't know how often this is described. I can think of a handful of films that can be described this way. I don't know if it's an official thing, but like sci-fi drama, essentially.
Yeah,
things like Arrival,
this
things
one,
like Her.
It
thing-
calls
you know.
itself a dystopian sci-fi.
Dystopian
Like
Okay.
in some ways, like even zombie films, those are sci-fi movies by definition, only because
See, that's what I'm saying.
talks about in science, it talks about the progression of like diseases and the spread of
I feel like
infection.
it's a stretch, but I feel you.
Science fiction.
Science fiction, like it's using science and using that as a hypothesis for what could happen.
But zombies is a possibility. It's not like
Yeah, but I
sci-fi.
mean, what would you consider zombie
This
movies?
you don't think this is a possibility?
It
turning
totally
you into
is.
an animal if you don't get a
No, but
What is the lobster about, though?
So
Yeah,
the
please.
lobster, you know, this is so fun. This has been so long since we've been able to do like this is why I chose this movie.
Yeah.
The lobster is about a man. I forgot his name. I don't even know if they give a name.
David? No.
No,
The
no.
character name?
Yeah, what's the character's name?
Oh, well, remember David. His name's David.
Oh, see, that was
David.
right.
David
There's
played by
only
Colin
3 named characters in this film.
Farrell. David,
The 3 friends, essentially.
Jemiah.
I don't know the other friends' names.
Well, Colin Farrell.
John C. Reilly and the other dude.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he said. Well, John C. Reilly's Peter.
Peter and then the other dude. So those are the only ones that are really named.
Yeah,
All the other ones are
everybody else,
referred to
yeah.
as like nosebleed woman, donkey shooter, doctor. Like they don't
doctor,
have
yeah.
names.
Wow,
Pretty
they really
interesting,
don't.
The
That's great.
maid.
Why is John C. Reilly not in like the main list?
It's true.
I mean, it was in the movie for like 10 minutes.
but a big character.
Yeah, he's a big character. He's one of the friends. Well, so this is about Colin Farrell,
Right.
living in a society that being in a relationship is mandatory. That you
Right.
cannot live life alone. So, and they don't really explain why. This is based off of a book. I forgot the author of the book, but you cannot live alone. And if for some reason you become single at any point in time, you are sent to this hotel. At the hotel, they give you so many days to find a partner. And if you do not find a partner in the allotted amount of time, you are going to be turned into an animal of your choosing to hopefully find a partner in the
animal
next
kingdom.
in the animal kingdom.
And these two guys think that's a possibility.
No, but
These two guys.
so what it is that there's different chapters of this movie. The first chapter is when Colin Farrell first enters the hotel.
Right.
The second
Post-divorce.
Yeah, post-divorce. His wife leaves him for somebody smarter than him. The second chapter is when we're out and he finds this group of loners that their whole society is based upon you can exist and be free, but you have to be alone. You cannot be
The
in a
total
partnership. Yeah. And then the last chapter is that he finds love in somebody from this loner society, but then they become outcast. And then they're, in a way, more
Dealing
alone
with their
than the
own,
loners.
yeah.
You know, it's really fascinating. So, yeah, it's this very high concept film. What I love about sci-fi, the genre in general, is that you're able to take concepts and bring them to a maximum to where you can start to question it. One of the fundamental things that happens in this film, which is really interesting, is that it describes love as finding somebody who has a trait similar to you.
Right.
And it's so like, it seems absurd when you watch it because like people say, oh, what's my special trait? And it's like, oh, I have a pretty smile. And then they just smile like, and then they're looking for somebody to compliment them on that. Like, meaning like as basic as it is, like, oh, I want to find somebody else who also has a good smile.
Yeah,
Or
I thought a lot about this too. I mean, it's essentially society's rejects in terms
Yeah.
of finding love. Like you realize as the film progresses, like none of these motherfuckers would find
Okay.
love because we criticized the dialogue, but and because it's just this kind of choppy mechanical dialogue that's really pretty just gets to one point to the other.
Yeah.
But I mean, we didn't hear anybody else in society talk
yeah.
in normal society.
Yeah.
Other than like police officers.
Not even
and
their parents.
or like there was
dentists.
there was
I mean, the eye doctor.
There was a lady that remember how she was like on her knees and they were interrogating her
Right.
and all that kind of stuff and it's like, oh, where's your husband? Oh, away on a trip.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And but even her, she's somebody who, in the view of society, it's kind of like, how could you have a partner? But you
Yeah.
need to have a partner. Like
Yeah.
it's so
It's
weird.
just strange. I mean, I think about the
yeah.
parents too, right? Like the parents, seeing her parents, the leader of this, the forest
Organization.
people.
Yeah,
They're the leaders?
the loners.
Well,
yeah.
the woman was the leader of the forest people.
of the
Oh,
loners.
And
okay.
her
I thought you were talking
parents.
about the parents. Yeah, the
We
parents.
see them connect over music
Yes.
and wanting their daughter home and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I think when you look at who is in this hotel, it's just really like, yeah, like I think a lot about the girl who killed the dog and like the brother and yeah, fuck her. Like no wonder you're not with anybody. Like
Exactly.
No,
it's one
and
of
then
those
also
things.
again, like there's these defining characteristics that every person is looking to find their match.
Sure.
And you think that sounds absurd, but when you like going and coming from like the dating profile world, like you put down things like, you know, I am funny, or
Yeah.
you know, put down things like I'm into this.
I
and
enjoy
really,
playing tennis.
yeah,
or whatever.
and then aren't you really just putting down I'm looking for somebody who also plays tennis? Like
Yeah.
it's one small weird trait that you're hoping to
Yeah.
find somebody
Yeah.
who's going to complement that.
And how desperate will
I'll
you
accept
be?
that.
Though what's cool
Yeah.
about this film, living within this genre, is that it pushes the boundaries of incentive. Right? The incentive here is you're volunteering your life if you don't fucking hurry. You have was it 3 months, 90
Yeah,
days?
you
or
have
120
90
days
days
or something like that.
And if you kill loners, you get an extra day.
Yeah, if you out the loners,
Yeah.
then you know you can keep looking for love.
But the
Yeah.
incentive is you have this amount of days to find someone in this luxury resort. And if you still can't find somebody in this society, then we're going to turn you into an animal and you're volunteering for this. So that potentially then you can find love.
Also, the fact
Or
that
companionship.
Like,
I shouldn't say love.
I'll say this, and then we'll jump into ratings real quick. But the fact that like the society in the hotel uses these weird incentive systems, like, oh look, if you lived with alone, you could choke and die, but if
Yeah.
you were with somebody, oh, they could have saved you. Like, see,
By the same token,
Yeah.
rules,
The
right?
safety
If
Yeah.
you masturbate, you're not allowed to, and we will put your hand in the toaster oven.
Yeah.
Like it's really strange.
So,
but again, incentives, right? This is gonna force you to find a companion, whether you like it or not.
it's such a fascinating film. I can't wait to keep talking about it. But let's jump into ratings. Costro, I want to start with you because I could tell that you.
Nice,
I want to
nice.
go counterclockwise because I'm going to hit all the people who hated the film.
No, I didn't hate the film.
But I could tell that, like, again, it's very awkward comedy mixed in with a very odd premise for society, and then it ends on a deadpan note. Like, it's,
I don't know. It just felt like everybody was talking like they work as customer service. They have to be very precise and
yeah.
cordial. But I'll start. Dude,
Where you at? Where you at?
really want to give it a 7.
Okay.
A barely
It's a
passing
good
C.
introductory, maybe.
Yeah.
It's not
A
my
little
type
low.
of genre, but I could see what you guys are talking about. And
It has potential.
it has potential. It's just I find it hard to stay interested or intrigued in the film that I really don't think it's possible. I know it's the fantasy rise, right?
Yeah.
This is a really. I get what you're saying, but
You know
this
what I
is
mean?
kind
It's
of
just-
grounded, isn't it? Like at the very least, it feels its sophistication
think-
forces it to get grounded.
We're gonna have to keep talking about it because I think when you look at the concept, and I'm like the whole reason I got into like films in general is I love these kind of films that are super high concept,
Right.
and you have to take one piece of the of the work and then just explore that, and then once you build it together, you see the tapestry,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's a lot. So a 7.
Yeah, and then also just we'll talk about the performance, but never seen Colin Farrell in this type. I haven't seen the Sacred
Pudgy?
Deer. I haven't seen.
You haven't seen Banshees of Inisherin? We
I've
talked
s-
about
yeah,
it.
I've
right,
seen
for
that
the
one. So
podcast.
yeah, I've seen him stuff like this, but this is not his role. So I really like how he he went into this different type of role. And
Because he's in Rock and Rolla, right?
no,
No.
No.
that's Gerald Butler, Idris Elba. Yeah.
Banshees of Inisherin. I feel like I've seen Colin Farrell in another type of this.
You know, the one
What
you're
am I
probably
thinking
thinking
of?
is the one where he's a hitman.
Maybe.
Yeah, they've put him in a lot of I think early on they put him in a lot of these strong roles.
Yeah, because in this one it looked like he
And
gained
they
some
dialed
weight.
him back. Yeah.
Yeah, and it just
He did. He gained 60 pounds for this role.
That's crazy. I want to explore that right now, but let's knock
Yeah.
out ratings real quick.
7.
Sanchez,
Uh,
gut instinct.
First timer?
first timer.
Last
First time
time.
I see it, and I actually really liked it.
Yeah, you were pretty intrigued
I was
throughout.
really intrigued by the whole it's like De La said, is this like dystopian sci-fi thing? And I saw it because before I came today, I googled it. I was like, what is this shit about?
Yeah.
And it said romance and drama. I'm like, the fuck? But then I finally saw it, and I get it. It reminded me of Logan's Run.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But as to my rating, I'm gonna give it an 8.8.
Oh.
I thought it was interesting, Eric, because last week, we were watching The Fly, and you talked about how The Fly is one of those films that makes you feel emotion. And I thought you were going through the motions of this picture. Like you were like, oh, motherfucker, why? Or like you were like, really? Really? They're not going to do this? Or they're not like within the scope of a couple. Within the scope of like, why don't they just become normal human beings and fucking make out already or whatever? So you got caught up in that. And I thought that's it. I never see you really do that.
Yeah.
No, I did. I don't know. Like, it was just really fun to be in this like, made up fictional world, like the fictional dystopian world that. Well, I mean, the whole turning people into animals is just like the
Bizarre.
quirk. I feel it's like the bizarreness of it that I kind of like intrigued me too.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's kind of ridiculous, but like I kind of like it.
Sure.
That you get to at least pick what animal you want to become. if
That's
you
fair.
Yeah.
Fuck it up. But yeah, there goes my rating. I think it's really interesting.
8.8.
8.8.
8.8.
Meg?
Meg?
No, I always giving everything a
Megathy?
I liked it a lot. It's like a 9.
9.
9. Yeah. Like the fact that like you're forced to find love. Like what if your love is a career? What if your love is your children? What if your
that's
love is your
interesting.
dog? So it's like you have to have a partner to survive in this society.
It's also a commentary, right? It's a commentary on what's wrong with partnerships and companionship.
Exactly.
Notice I'm not saying with love or romantic relationships. Like I like that couple or don't like them rather because of the commentary of like, we're going to marry you. And if you fight, we'll throw a kid in the mix because that usually fixes things.
Exactly.
Yeah. or
it's so interesting.
And again, these are concepts that when you look at it in the movie, you think, oh, they're so weird and so strange. But then the parallel is
It's
we've
true.
all had like family members or we've had friends who are like, I can hook you up with this person. Or like, oh, you'd be great with this
Blind
person, all that
dates.
kind of stuff. Yeah. Blind dates and
No,
dating
or
apps.
they're just so desperately trying to find a partner.
and the thing
Anybody.
is,
and make it work. I'll make it work because I'm
Yeah.
getting older
Yeah.
and I'm getting lonely.
And
Like,
we've even talked about people who like you mentioned like the whole notion to be like boy hungry or like girl hungry, just like like feeling like, oh man, I'll be so much happier like when I have like a partner or a person, and it's a very odd dynamic.
Sure.
But again, it sounds crazy in the movie, but then if you look at it, that's kind
true.
of real, like that
it's
notion.
It's
yeah.
very much.
Like,
It's
fun
very
fact,
much a commentary.
Michael and I met on a dating website. But
Right.
why? We connected through film because we both
Sure,
like
sure.
film.
Right,
So
right.
in this movie, it was just like,
My special
you are
trait is
blind,
film.
You're blind. I'm blind.
Yeah.
Love. I was like,
I dig it. I
oh,
dig it.
dang.
So a 9.
Okay, yeah, 9. The ending was just like, so what's gonna happen?
Right.
So I did
Yeah.
part 2.
No,
to this.
we'll get
Oh,
into
it's got
the-
the thing ending, bro. Like it's just
Yes.
up
The
to your
thong.
your
That's another thing I
interpretation.
didn't like.
Yeah.
He cut out his eyes. Could she see? Did she bullshit? I'm just
Nah,
kidding. But
We did it first. Actually, no, we
Yes.
didn't. This was before that, before our film.
Shit. Then.
I'll give mine and then I'll let you kick it off. I'll give it an 8.7.
8.7.
8.7.
All right.
I think that it's a really, really strong film. It's definitely in the genre that I like. I do feel like when it comes to the execution of things, it's
Right.
kind of odd in its choices, but it's also based off a novel, so I know it's trying to be true to the source material, and I know
Right.
that also changes things. But as far as like Yorgos' interpretation, even the narration, one of the biggest standouts
Rachel
for me,
Weisz was narrating this.
yeah,
The
Well,
love
one of
interest
the
character.
biggest standouts for me was when the narration feels objective till it becomes subjective, meaning that's
Yeah.
when I met him. That's
Yeah,
what he
yeah,
told
yeah.
me, and that's what I talked to him.
It
and
was
it becomes a person. That
repeating-
was
Yeah.
fascinating. Like I loved how that built into
I
itself.
like that. I like that too.
Yeah.
I think it's cool because the narration. You're right. It's an outside. It's a bird's view
Until it isn't.
until
then
it
it's
isn't.
hers.
Then
Like,
it's hers, or lack of view,
yeah.
if you will. But it also felt like a book. Meg said this, or we were screening it. She said, "This feels like when I'm reading a book. This is what I picture."
Uh-huh.
And the narration did a lot of that, I think, because if you noticed, to me, this is how I interpreted it. It repeated lines that were already said or actions that already
Yeah.
happened. The way we have to go back and reread a line in a book that we didn't get,
Yeah.
or
Oh,
like
wow.
couldn't process. So like
I'm pretty slow when it comes to books.
No, but like if
I
you're reading
am. I'm the
Frankenstein,
best
like if
reading.
you're reading Frankenstein, it's like he had to leave to go study. It was like a rainy night.
Yeah.
He was trying to survive, and you're just like, this is a good ass movie
One
in
of,
my
one
head.
of my
What?
favorite things about the narration was that aspect of like the woman who says, "If I don't find somebody in the next couple of days, I'm just gonna fucking commit suicide." And she's telling this guy on the bus, and as she's saying it, it's almost like the novel was to me, a more interesting line because she just said, "I'm just going to throw myself out the window of one of the rooms," and that's all she says, or at least what we hear. And then the narration says she repeats what she said, but she says maybe one of the top floors, room 308, maybe 408 is better. All of this felt like the novelization of what she just said. Not, it was far more interesting to me.
And
the narrator,
the weird, dark, comedic, but also like, oh my goodness, like there's got to be something to be explored about. Oh, what did she jump from? 180.
The first floor.
Yeah, and it's kind of like you were committed enough to do the action without being committed enough to go higher.
Sure.
Like that's.
Yeah, there's something there. There's
interesting.
something. It's fear, right?
But
It's
also,
the fear.
the interesting part
It's
when they
fight or
find
flight.
the book of this girl and
The
she's
journal.
like, a journal, exactly. So basically, this guy was telling his side of the story, and then she's like telling it through her voice or telling it through what she heard.
Yeah.
So it's just like, oh, shoot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool. 8.7.
8.7.
Cool. This is the first time in a long time we're aligned.
Papa.
No, I was there. I was gonna say 8.3. I'm at an 8.3, 8.4.
Yeah,
I couldn't help but think to myself, and this isn't really a fair assessment. It was just something that I kept asking myself throughout the film. The film is great. The writing is incredible. Yorgos does his thing. Yorgos has substantially grown as a storyteller. I think something like Poor Things or Kinds of Kindness even. You can't really pin down a Yorgos. All you can pin down a Yorgos is his stylings to an extent. But you also see a vast difference between something like this or Poor Things and something like Kinds of Kindness. I feel like this is more aligned with Kinds of Kindness, actually. And
what you didn't like. I remember you told me you didn't like it.
Kinds of Kindness? No, I dug it. It's just it's this weird anthology using these same actors for 3 different stories, but all commentaries on society in a really, really like exploitative way. Yeah, it's very interesting. I highly recommend people watch it. I think it did get slept on. It's just out there. It's super out there. Anyways, I give it an 8.3 because I think what I couldn't help but think to myself is how much is too much stylization. How stylized can we get? And it's not a fair question because when you see something like Poor Things, you don't mind it. In fact, you lean into the skid. You accept it for what it is, this strange world with fish-looking aircraft flying around and architecture of the future. Like, it's stylized. It's super stylized. And you accept it easier. But when it's something like this that's so grounded, it almost felt like, how highly stylized are we going to get in the classical music playing and the fast frame rates, and how are we going? What are we exploring in these areas? And I couldn't help but ask myself. And you would think I'd ask myself this question on a Wes Anderson picture or on a Spike Jonze picture, but no, I asked myself, how much is too much?
Well, what I think is that, like, when you look at the style and what Yorgos likes to do, at least in this film, is slow down time. Mm-hmm. But when you're slowing it down, you're also, much like in a book, you can kind of slow your read to really process what's happening and what's going on.
Sure.
I can see a lot of the moments when, like, they're communicating with each other or during the hunting sequences.
Well, that's where you see it the most. But you and I talk about this all the time. I felt like this was the season in Yorgos' life as a director or in his career that he's exploring cool. Though the film had a ton to say, and
those moments didn't feel like...
Yeah, the stripped down moments were the commentary. The stripped down moments were more than effective.
Yeah.
But the highly stylized slow frame rates and fast frame rates and the music and the crescendos and the classical score. I thought they were cool, but I don't know what they were saying.
In a way, I also feel like, and you probably agree as a director or even as an actor, there's moments that in a film you'll look at that as like, I got to try this tool out. I got to try that style out.
Yeah.
I got to, you're doing something very different. Like you said, first English language film. I mean, if any of us were having to direct a film or be a part of a film that's in a completely opposite language, you're thinking that in and of itself is an experiment.
Yes.
And I would say that, like, having a book with a strong source material, like, you're going to have flexibility because the book will, like, the story in and of itself, you could have probably told this like crap, but the story's interesting enough, it would have survived.
It would have done okay. It would have been one of those Netflix, like, have you seen this? This is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then you'd forgot about it. You could have forgotten about it. But what I think Yorgos was doing, at least this is what I thought about.
Yes.
And I encourage directors to do this. I don't think emulating is wrong. I really don't. I think you should watch everything and anything and consume as much good cinema as you can. And then if you want to fuck around with it for your first few films, you do. I thought he was doing Clockwork Orange in these moments.
Oh,
You know, we're
very
slowing
true,
down
very
the
true.
frame, the speed of the film. We're using classical music to heighten an emotion.
And the kind of chaos of
the
it
chaos
all, yeah.
and the commentary on humanity
Yeah,
or lack
yeah,
thereof. So I thought he was just emulating Kubrick, and that's fine. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with that. But I think he was just like, well, this is cool, right? It's in the woods, and John C. Reilly's going to fall on his ass, and we're just going to sit there for
there was even a moment that
30 seconds.
I like told you, I'm like, do you think Yorgos just really liked watching John C. Reilly go down a hill and like fuck up?
Yeah.
Like, you know.
But what was that saying? I don't know that was saying a ton.
And honestly, all it was really doing is playing into the
the
tone,
hunt.
no,
right?
the tone of it being like a dark comedy.
Yeah.
There was a lot of these weird moments that like it's a dark comedy and it wants you to laugh, but I almost feel like the laughter is to help break the tension of a very dark story.
Sure,
with
sure,
very
sure,
dark
yeah.
tones.
And
Like,
it needed
I don't
that.
know. Did it? It did need that, but did it accomplish it? Were we even laughing uncomfortably for prolonged periods of time?
I remember on my first screening, because this is my second screening, but on my first screening, there was a lot of moments that I laughed, and it was not because it was enjoyable, but it was because it was those really grimy things. Like I was, like you know, kind of like an uncomfortable laugh. Like I remember when the whole scene about the dog, which got everybody in the room just like wincing and backing away. I just remember that. You know, at first when she brings it up, because of the dialogue and the way it's built in the film, you almost think like,
I killed your dog.
no, you almost think
killed
like,
your brother.
are you like just saying this to like fuck with me? Like, is it just
She's
like
testing the hell
yeah,
out of
like, are you you know, kind of like just playing around to get a reaction?
Yeah.
And then it cuts to her foot, and you're like, oh god,
really did.
like yeah.
And then that scene too. That's the first time you see Colin Farrell kind of break.
Right,
Because
absolutely.
you see,
He's-
Oh,
you
because
said
the whole
but
time
he's so
playing
desperate
it.
for
playing it very
companionship.
restrained, and this
Yeah.
is the first time where he's like, I can't. I have to show something. Like,
But the desperation
just
for
water.
companionship, that's the commentary too. Is like, are you going to stick around in a relationship where they're going to treat you like shit? They're going to push your buttons. You're going to test your limits. And you, just for the sake of not being alone, are you going to put up with this shit?
yeah, I think that's why I was just. I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't really.
It's rough.
jive,
It's
yeah, I
rough.
know.
It's rough.
But
it's rough.
but I think ultimately that's the idea is how, I don't know. Again, I battled with
How much is too much?
how much is too much highly stylized moments, and by the way, I think comedically what he was trying to do
Yeah.
here, he perfected in Poor Things.
Oh, of course.
You know, because Poor Things is fucking funny.
Yeah.
Emma Stone is learning to be a fucking human, a woman, and her commentary on like, I'm a sexually free woman, and
Yeah.
these sexual moments and stuff like that, and it's funny. It's just funny,
Yeah.
like dark comedy. But I think he perfected it.
Speaking of too much, man gained a little too much weight. What's the story, Castro? What do you
The
think?
gut.
I think you know, he's usually put in these parts where he's the the action figure, the action cop, or the.
Wait, he's the penguin, right?
Yeah, the penguin.
No, I know, but
No, it's fine. I just
I
that
think for
clicked
this
in.
type of character, he needed to gain a little weight, be a little bit different than his usual role. So
to be the everyman, maybe
okay, that's pretty true. Yeah.
is that? I don't know. That's what I'm thinking.
No,
but-
yeah.
Or do you think if he looked? I mean, I don't even think he looked bad in this one. But do you think if maybe Yorgos or he wanted to do that so he didn't look like too
Like Colin
attractive?
Farrell, the
yeah,
movie
because
star.
I feel
Exactly.
like in this society, the pretty people are the ones that get picked up. Like the two friends. Like it's really fascinating that like the two friends, like the one who gets picked up, and then the other one's like, well, screw this girl
But
because
come on, how
yeah.
much difference is a day gonna make? Look how ugly you are. Is what he
Yeah.
tells them.
Yeah,
I just did it to make it more realistic, right? You can't have a best physique guy,
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
I think it's just related to the everyman. I think it's to make Colin Farrell not Colin Farrell.
Yeah,
Exactly.
That's very interesting. I dig it. I
man,
I'm mad at myself that I haven't watched it because after I first watch it, I need more.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I
there's
apologize.
a lot of elements. There's just so many elements that I feel like if you really break apart, it says something. Like I want to go back to the two girls, like the best friends. When they start off, they're both best friends, but in a weird way, what their relationship is that they both are looking for love and they're both like hunting it down. But the second one of them finds it and the other one doesn't, then it becomes like
they write an Oscar speech, or she writes an Oscar speech to say, "You were always my best friend."
Yeah, you were always there, and things.
And
I'll
get
visit
that.
you.
No, but then I feel like a lot of people go through that feeling where they have a close friend, but then once one of them gets in a relationship and it's like the single person with the person in the relationship, it changes a dynamic.
So
you
that's
know?
why she slapped her?
Yeah, because at that point it's like
anger and resentment.
Yeah, it's like
and,
screw you. You got your date or your like no,
and you're rubbing it in.
Yeah, you got your relationship and you're saying, oh, I can't wait till like I can look back at you with fondness while I'm with my child and my future
that
husband.
makes so much sense.
Like,
True,
it's
and
kind of
like basically saying like, I'll come visit you at the zoo once I'm with my happy family.
That makes sense.
Interestingly enough, what we're seeing
Oh,
on
and
the
then
screen.
of all things, the movie she wants to watch is Stand By Me because
Stand
she's
By
like,
Me.
I'd rather look at like a fictional situation where people stick together
Yeah.
through hard times than be with you where it's like you can't even stick with me. through
I'd
this.
rather throw you in front of a train.
Yeah,
You know what
and
I
then
mean?
becomes a fucking pony.
Yeah. This film got nominated for original screenplay.
Lost out
Which
to
why
Manchester.
original if it was adapted?
So I looked it up, and it said there's a book, but of essays. So I think
Oh, so
someone
it's
came-
kind of taken
yeah,
from a
so
book
he
of
grabbed
essays.
like an idea and then
Oh,
he made
okay,
it into
okay.
a screenplay.
He PTA'd it.
Oh.
Okay, interesting. Well,
We were
anyways, it got
close.
nominated
Oh
and then
man,
lost
same year
out.
as La La Land.
Yeah, but it lost out to
Yes.
Manchester by the Sea, which I highly agree with. Manchester by the Sea, Kenny Lonergan. Kenny Lonergan
Taylor
comes
Sheridan.
from writing these super punchy, compelling theater plays. These really punchy things, Kenny Lonergan's things. But Manchester by the Sea is extremely well written. Yeah,
I've read the synopsis of it. I'm scared I'm gonna cry.
you are gonna cry.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
just-
a lot about that film. I think about as a homeowner and a husband. I'm afraid of certain
Exactly.
things that happen in that film. Like I think about like, fuck, that could be me.
It could
and
happen.
Yeah, it's just so strange. But it's also like Casey Affleck's amazing performance. Anyways, this film, The Lobster, lost out to Manchester by the Sea, which I think we'll talk about on this podcast at some point. It's just incredible. So The Lobster's not based on the book, but it is based
I'm so
on
sorry
a
for lying, guys.
book of essays, essentially. No, I mean, it is. It is.
knew
It
you
is
was
like grabbing the idea, like,
Yeah.
oh, I read it on a book of
concept.
essays, and I grabbed like the concept of like, you read it and you're like, okay, I think I already got something,
Yeah.
you know, like something like that.
Not directly adapted. No, that's
Yeah.
fair. Yeah.
Nice.
Anyways, no, I mean, but the concept is the strongest thing about this thing, right? I mean, that's
Yeah.
why it thrives in sci-fi and it's grounded sci-fi.
Yeah.
and-
'Cause I
Yeah.
think looking forward into the rest of the month and like the genre of sci-fi,
Right.
we're gonna encounter a lot of films that again are taking a premise and then in normal everyday society and bringing it to a maximum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love the idea that this film explores love in a very analytical, very dry way, because whenever we see any film that revolves around relationships starting or ending, it's a lot of like emotion, and it's a lot of these like, oh, I'm emotionally swelled by this moment, and that's why I jumped into the relationship, or
Yeah.
because of an emotional swell, I left it, and you know, there's these big
Definitely.
clashes. I mean, look at something like The Notebook, right? Like all this passion that goes into a
But
moment.
the emotion in this film, it has to be condensed and compacted and communicated with code and communicated with
Or-
silent actions.
Or
and-
even when people are like interacting with each other, it's like a very like no fat, stripped down. You get to see.
do you like this? I do too. Let's get married.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
it's
Even in
it's
the
making-
friendships, even in the friendships where it's like, oh,
Show 'em your leg.
Yeah, it's like, oh, let me see your leg. It's like, oh yeah, isn't it crazy?
Yeah, but
it-
like, how far would you go to keep something, or want to get something?
And
Like-
and
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
that's that's interesting too, because they're not, at least amongst themselves, they don't lie about it. They're like, hey, what's worst, being eaten by an animal larger than you, or getting nosebleeds every now and then, you know? And it's this like very
Yeah.
honest way of like saying like living your life where you're cast out by society, or lying a little bit so you can stay in a relationship, and
Yeah.
you know, or the whole kid thing, and the way that they conduct themselves, you know, it's just I love.
It's the olive theory, right? There's this thing that I know Eric is familiar with in How I Met Your Mother. there's this cool thing of like the olive theory that comes out in the first season where two of the main characters, Marshall and Lily, when they went out on their first date, they both had Greek salads, and Lily was like, "Oh, I love olives," and he's like, "Well, you can have mine because I don't like olives." And like later, the Barney character finds out, "Hey, dude, I saw you eat olives like in secret. Like, what the fuck?" And he's like, "Oh, but the olive theory is so special to us. Like, it's kind of what makes us the perfect couple." And another friend, Ted, the main character, kind of lives on that. Like, I have to find the perfect partner that matches the olive theory because my best friends have such a perfect relationship because of the olive theory. But it's a lie. It's a lie to just impress the girl you're on their first date with, but you can't go back on the lie. And it's kind of that principle, right? Of like, I'm going to lie enough to just, it's a little white lie. But others to the extremes, you're going to kill a dog because a relationship cannot be built on lies. And there's a lot of that too.
No, yeah. I like growing up, it's funny, but like my father always talked about this concept and he was very adamant about it. And, I found some truth and some of just like, okay, maybe it's a little outdated 80s man theories. But the concept that like with guys, a lot of times in relationships, you'll lose yourself. And you see that a lot where, if you're trying to impress the girl, sure, you won't dress the way you normally dress or you won't like do actions you normally do. You suddenly are into jogging and
Guilty.
Yeah, like keto. And it's like, yeah, that's totally my
I've
personality.
always wanted
trait.
to do that. I've always wanted to try it.
By the same token, women will do things like sometimes you have to let the man win the little fights. Like sometimes you have to allow the man to open the jar, even though you can.
I experienced girls that are like, "Oh my gosh, he likes girls with like short hair, so I cut my hair." And I was like, "That is the most dumbest thing I've ever heard."
But what I mean is more like, "Oh, I'm going to pretend I'm helpless around my man because it makes him feel useful."
Yeah.
Are you talking about the person that I'm
cute.
thinking about?
I don't know.
The cutting hair thing?
No, I'm just like an example.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're not talking about it.
Oh
God, she stresses me out.
Yeah, but I've seen girls that are willing to be like, "Oh, like he likes girls with tattoos, so I got a tattoo." You're like, you've never thought about that. Why are you doing this for a person that's not giving you or is being real with you?
No, and
like, why do you have to mold yourself into the person that he wants out of you?
And
absolutely, I like the idea of the characters in this. I hadn't seen Rachel Weisz do anything this good, and I was shocked to find out she had already won an Oscar for something. I don't know what she won for.
I got you.
Rachel Weisz was incredible in this to show both sides of the equation, right? Show the equation, part of the equation of like, I'm part of this tribe, and I'm faithful to it, and I'm loyal to it, until I see this man behind the tree and discovering. I don't know. I think her performance was the most refined of this film out of everybody.
I have one question. Why did she have the surgery for her eyes?
Well, no, because she was forced to, right? The leaders of the clan are basically find out that the connection between these two is we're both short-sighted.
But she doesn't know, right? She's just like, I have to do this procedure, or she knows that they're gonna...
She knows that they're on to her.
Yeah.
She knows that they're on to her. So in their like bribe is like, hey, no. What do you mean? What is there to think about?
But what is it though? Like,
so
what's
the LASIK, a correction surgery?
So what they do is that they take her there saying, hey, we're doing this good thing for you. Like they kind of trick her into going to the city alone without the rest of them.
Okay.
And because she doesn't want to bring attention, she just kind of goes with it. But, once she's there, she starts like having hesitations.
Yeah.
They're like, why would you be hesitating if this is a thing that's going to improve your life?
Eyesight. And you don't have to do anything for it.
Yeah, it's like,
it's free.
It's not gonna affect you. Like, why are you so worried? And then when they do it, it's to punish her by saying, hey, you had like we're gonna get rid of your
I just didn't know
now,
what they
you're
told
really...
her. Yeah, but okay. They were like, hey, we can make your sight better.
We're gonna make your sight better, of course. And then the doctor has to say one line, and it's like, she's blind now, and that's it. Yeah, I think that's super interesting. Oh, maybe she won for The Favorite. The Favorite was a big Oscar contender.
I just remember her from The Mummy and Constantine.
What did she win for? There's an award section in IMDb, Meg, if you scroll somewhere. It's interesting. I think Rachel Weisz, in my opinion, just had the most refined, and I don't mean the most.
Was she in Sweeney Todd?
No,
I don't think so.
No, that's
Helena
Tim
Bonham
Burton's-
Carter.
Yeah, there you go.
No, I think, maybe The Lovely Bones. I don't know. Anyways, we'll find out right now. But I think Rachel Weisz, to me, it's just it's meek. It's a meek performance. The definition of meekness has always been described to me as power under control.
Power under control.
And Colin Firth has some of that in him for sure. Because
in...
you've seen she won for The Constant Gardener. All right.
Why do you sound so disappointed?
Because I've never heard of this. And it's such a bad
and
title.
And it's Winnier in a best supporting role.
That you see, she did get nominated for The Favorite. She got I was like, she got nominated for an Oscar in The Mummy. No, it's the Academy of Science Fiction. Anyways, I think of refinedness, and I think about not acting too big when it comes to meek performances.
Okay.
And I think about how she's able to trick us, if you will, to thinking that she's this girl next door type and she can fall in love, and she has these almost fantasy-like qualities of a woman in desperation because she's basically the more sexualized person or the most sexually driven person versus Colin Firth's character. He's seeking love, he's seeking companionship. She's kind of seeking
You think
sex.
so?
And there's subtleties, but then you get to a point of like feeling bad for her. Like I felt a lot of empathy for her character. I felt a lot of sympathy for her character, and I don't know. I think refined. I think that performance was smoothed out so well that it tricked us into it.
I think she did give the character like so much depth, and it's weird because once Colin Farrell kind of gets to this like loner society, she's the thing that like kickstarts the engine again.
Yeah, and the film's told through her perspective, right?
Yeah. You don't know it is till it is,
right.
And then once it is, it's a completely new way of like looking at the story and Colin Farrell and everything. Dude, I know with these performances, like we've even talked about like Wes Anderson a lot, and you've had like your quarrels with these dry delivery performances, these like inability to express beyond certain points.
Yeah.
Was that a hindrance in the film for you? Like, did you feel like you wanted to see the same story be told, but maybe with more like...
Oh, no, absolutely not. I think the choice that Colin Farrell made for his character is beautiful. Like, even the way he walks, right? He's kind of hunched over, kind of trying to make himself smaller, or maybe the weight of the world is on him. So, no, I think he plays it beautifully, and then those little, like I said, those little leaks when he panics or with the dog, I think it just emphasizes it. It makes it better. You know what I'm saying? Like, I kind of like that. So
these characters have to be decisive figures. They're making a big life decision on a hunch.
Yeah, even the way he talks, like he almost seems rehearsed, right? Like he's trying not to make a mistake.
Right,
you know?
right.
You know, so no, I definitely like the choice that he made for his role. Like, I think that was one of the biggest things that I like about this film. I'm gonna be honest. I'm still trying to understand the whole thing.
I liked Olivia Colman too, right? Olivia Colman is such a good actress, man. Everything she does is gold. And I think about her a lot because like Sandra likes the British.
Is that the leader of the force?
Yes.
You don't think she plays the same character?
A little bit, but I also thought
she's good. She's good. Don't get me wrong.
No, because she's usually the stern one, but not like she's usually sweeter than this.
Where?
I also
007, Mission Impossible.
Dude, The Bear.
The Bear?
You haven't seen The Bear? The show?
I haven't seen The Bear.
Oh, dude, her role.
Complete opposite?
She's in probably 4 episodes in the entire series. But she's this chef, this renowned chef who's kind of like the buddy person with Jeremy Allen White's character and like the mentor.
I've never seen her like that.
Oh, man, she's terrific. She's terrific. But I think she was terrific. I guess because more fresh in my head is The Bear.
Okay.
More than like The Crown or whatever else she was on. And
I was seeing Mission Impossible. I was seeing, I think she was in 007.
Wait, also, correct me.
Yeah.
After they discovered the book, the narration stopped, right?
Yes. Yeah.
That's good.
Because
I just realized, I was like, dude, the narration stopped.
Yeah.
And she could have been like, yeah, they ripped my eyes out. But they're like,
That's cool.
It stopped. It never did. So I was like, oh, shoot, wait.
Because, after
good.
that, there's nothing else that can be written. It's
Yeah.
like,
she's blind.
Did you not feel good about Rachel Weisz?
In what way? Her performance or her character through the story?
Both.
No, I mean it complemented the story. I mean, she didn't have to do too much. She's the one that gets Colin Farrell out of the funk. I just don't like the choices that were made, but I know it's the story to keep it going. No, I think she did good. I think she did well.
What are your thoughts on John C. Reilly? I feel like he's the most expressive person out of the bunch.
And then, like you always say, like I always say, you always need that comedic relief, and I think
is it a cheap shot to make John C. Reilly the loser? Is it a cheap thing? Because again, I most recently saw John C. Reilly outside of the comedy box and inside things like Gangs of New York and Hard 8. Like very serious. I mean, we just saw him in Boogie Nights. You know, we covered him for PTA month. Like he's kind of the loser in like is it a cheap
Magnolia
shot?
Too.
Magnolia.
A cheap shot towards his career, or a cheap shot towards what?
Well, for the film, is it cheap to get?
No, it worked perfectly.
Yeah,
yeah, because you're in a society where you're the loner. Definitely looks like a loner. He's not in good shape.
It's an interesting jump rope, a line to play jump rope with. I think
there's also like an interesting personality trait or character trait to John C. Reilly, and the fact that like there's a warm innocence to him, and I feel like I've seen that in a lot of his roles. Like
yes,
like in
absolutely.
This concept of like being the loser
Magnolia.
is also like
yeah,
it is also a character who just earnestly either wants to be liked or cool or have friends. Like I love the line that he says when they're at that the target practice range where at first he's being vulnerable by saying like, hey, so what like animal are you guys gonna be in case we don't make it in like a week? And he's like, oh, I think I'll be a parrot. Like, and it's almost like
we should all be parrots.
Yeah, and it's like, hey, maybe we can be like parrot friends. Yeah. but in a very wholesome way that, again, if you look at this as a reflection of society, the character who's like, what's wrong with the fact that we would just want to stay friends? Like, why is it that if I can't get my partner because I have a lisp or like, I can't get anybody to like me, like, what's wrong with us just staying friends? But, can't that be an option? And then the other guy's like, dude, you're a loser. Like,
it's a valid point for the film. It's a valid point for the story. It's a valid point for this world. My quarrel with it is that
John C.
Reilly's an easy choice. And I hate the idea of somebody that good getting typecast. And I felt like this was one of those typecast moments because you're right. There is a vulnerable innocence to him, and we believe
that's why
he can bring that out in like a lot of these roles. But I mean, let's
It felt easy to me. It felt like, oh man,
I'm gonna give you
like John C. Reilly thriving.
Steve Carell. Could Steve Carell have done a good job at this role? Would that have been too much?
No, I think maybe even somebody like Philip Seymour Hoffman would have been interesting. Or
man.
No, I'm with you on Steve Carell. He might have been able.
But
to
he's too. The hard part, unless you see Steve Carell in something like Foxcatcher, Last Flag Flying, you see him as Michael Scott.
Damn it! Oh man, I don't see.
It is true.
Of course you do, man. Anybody would see him in Michael Scott. Unless you see him in like complete polar opposite, super dramatic roles. Foxcatcher, you had to do so much to his face and hair just to get him out of Michael Scott. The Last Flag Flying, you have to set him in this dude who has to bury his kid cross-country road trip. Like,
I see what you're saying with John C. Reilly now.
Completely of a comedic thing. And this film, by all intents and purposes, is a dark comedy. So to put Michael Scott in the forest falling down a hill...
What did you just say? That's a perfect cast?
I don't know. That's why I wonder if it's a cheap shot because, let's face it. When we all think our generation, when we think John C. Reilly, we think Step Brothers. And in Step Brothers, he's a fall guy. He's a loser, but he's also very confident.
Right.
He's the practicing doctor in the family of doctors and a drummer. Like, but I don't know.
But
I don't know. It's just, I guess...
I can see.
I see his potential, and
I can see what you're saying, but like
same.
The choice of like Philip Seymour Hoffman because something again like Boogie Nights where he plays such a soft character that just wants nothing more than to be liked.
But we've seen him be the master.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So to take him out of a position of power as an actor and place him in a meek role.
I see what you're saying.
I don't know. I think when directors do that, they prove that they can be good directors. And when you get a guy who's like probably in his pitch, he was like, for this character, I need a John C. Reilly type. And then the producer was like, we can get John C. Reilly, dude. That's not that hard. Like, that's easy. I don't know.
Okay, but
there's something to be...
Also, like, I mean, I think in a lot of the dialogue, to me, they don't come across like adults. They come across like children, like schoolyard children. I think of the moment when like John C. Reilly's like, hey, check out his leg, or like, hey, me and the guys are gonna go outside. You want to be our friend and like join us? Like,
it's believable.
It's very kiddie, and it feels.
So
very
do you
small.
think the stepbrothers notion has to come into
think
play a little
maybe
bit?
because also even like later on where it's like, hey, I like your hair, and it's like, yeah, my hair's really pretty. Watch, and like they do the thing. Like it's so goofy, but it reminds you of like children.
Sure.
That then when they get
never seen it like that.
the way
Okay.
that they get punished for like, hey.
Stick your hand in the
you
toaster.
masturbated again. We got to burn you.
It's kind of like when you say a bad word, put the
Yeah.
soap in the mouth.
Well, like the lip thing they did for the dudes, right?
The kiss of death
the kiss
or-
of death, or
yeah, but the way
red
that they
kiss.
Red
treat
kiss.
everybody like children, like
That's
hey,
interesting. I didn't see it like
It's
that.
very interesting.
Yes.
So you feel like, in terms of the casting choice of John C. Reilly, we
It's-
needed the stepbrother
it's-
syndrome
it's
to kick
less-
in a little bit.
It's less of a cheap shot. It's more of perfect casting for that character.
Yeah.
I wouldn't use
Because I
the
see
word
what you're saying.
perfect,
He's
but
got more potential, but that's
or maybe it's too perfect. Maybe
Because
it's too easy.
I
That's what
think
I'm saying.
if you're getting somebody like Philip Seymour, like you're getting somebody who's I don't know. It's
Okay, here's one. We've seen him on both sides of the equation. Sam Rockwell.
Can you pull up a picture of Sam Rockwell? What has he been in?
He was in Three Billboards Outside Ebbing,
Yeah,
Missouri,
he's the
kind of
drunk
playing
guy.
the loser
The
slash
drunk.
hero.
Oh,
But he's also fucking Seven Psychopaths.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like,
he's too good looking.
you think so?
Yeah, he
oh,
wouldn't be
yeah,
able to-
sure, you're right, because he has to be ugly.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
what,
has
what
to
about the
fit the
guy
bill.
from Buster Scruggs? Buster Scruggs.
You see, that's an interesting thing. Tim, what's his name?
Too goofy. Too goofy looking.
Too goofy?
I
Yeah.
think just because we've seen him in Holes, we don't like the character actor. I don't know. Anyways, I just feel like as a director,
I see what you're saying,
I never
yes.
want to go for the obvious thing because it's A, going to distract from the fact, or B, it's just going to feel like
You want to surprise the audience.
yeah, I want to. Well, more surprise. I want to solidify the legitimacy of this role. And the legitimacy of this role could take a bit of a cheap shot if I get the guy who you expect to be in that role.
Can you do me a favor?
that's
Can
on-
you look
that's
up
you know?
Maybe.
look up Colin Farrell and what did he do before this film? Because I also know Colin Farrell went through kind of like
A movie star phase.
yeah, like a movie star phase. And
Yeah,
had
100%.
What did he do that it like bombed?
We'll put him on the map. Oh
No. I forgot if he did like a gladiator or something, but he
I
He
always
was the bad guy
confuse him
for Daredevil. That movie bombed. That one bombed.
right.
which Daredevil?
Ben Affleck's Daredevil.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
He was the
Bullseye.
Bullseye.
Because I remember
he was
that
so bad in that.
I
No,
remember
but I'm saying that he's known to be like the action star,
yeah,
right?
but I remember Colin Farrell went through something where I saw him in an interview recently where it was
He's doing that new Margot film too, the Margot Robbie thing.
Dude,
it was
talk about no chemistry in
The
that
big,
film.
beautiful,
the round
bullshit.
It was the
thing.
round table after they did Banshee the Inisherin. And
he was great in that.
Yeah, but they talked to him about like, oh, well, what did you why
In
did you take the
Bruges.
role and all that? And he was like, well, I did
Yeah,
one
that's-
where
that's the
I
one with-
was like, I thought it was going to be a hit and a rock star and all this kind of stuff, and it didn't do well. And then he kind of went through this like crisis where he just didn't know what he was. and all
Really?
that kind of stuff.
I think Colin Farrell's budget.
Whoa,
Hold on,
dude, no way.
Colin Farrell's budget, Christian Bale.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Brad Pitt.
No,
Come on.
dude, that's such an insult, dude. That's
No,
such an
no.
insult.
Come on,
No.
he's budget Christian
He could
Bale.
never-
Go to the IMDb.
He could never play like Patrick Bateman, man.
Oh, what
Like,
the hell? Yeah.
I mean, the comparison's too different. Colin Farrell plays.
But no,
like,
have you seen
Scroll
this
down.
guy in the Guy Ritchie films or in the what's the Seven Psychopaths guy? Martin McDonough. Like the
Oh,
Martin
yeah.
McDonough films. Like
I did.
He was also in a Batman film.
He was?
Yeah,
Which one?
the fucking Penguin.
He's the penguin.
show. It's a show.
You're right. But he
He's
had a bunch-
budget. He's budget.
Dude,
Christian Bale.
that's
I
pissing
didn't
me
realize
off.
I don't know, man.
Keep going down.
Artemis Fowl. Oh, that's right. He did a couple Ghibli's, right?
Oh,
He
he
was on
did some
Dumbo?
Dumbo.
I didn't see Dumbo. Tim Burton's Dumbo. I didn't see it.
He was in
Don't bother.
No, True
Da Vinci?
Detective.
True Detective was pretty good.
Winter's
He has
Tale.
one of the
Oh,
best
he wasn't
scenes.
saving Mr. Banks. He was the dad. He was great in that. He was like a drunk.
I haven't seen that
Epic,
one.
Oh, it's
Dead
so
Man
great.
Down, Seven Psychopaths.
Total
oh, wait,
Recall.
Stop. Go up.
Fright
Yeah,
Night.
Seven Psychopaths was badass.
So, oh,
Yeah,
man,
Total
Martin
Recall.
McDonough, man.
I gotta rewatch it. It's been a minute.
fantastic.
I know. I've
Beast.
always
Oh,
seen him
man.
as the pretty boy.
Dude, I didn't realize that he has this many
Horrible
credits.
bosses, dude.
Oh, that's right.
on,
He's like the assassin or whatever, right?
The
fake.
cokehead.
Oh, the boss, the fucking
the son of
son,
the
the
boss.
son that takes
Yeah.
over.
Oh,
That's right.
He's the asshole, right?
We got to
Yeah.
trim the fat. What are you talking about? Margie.
I didn't realize that he was in so many movies. Oh my god.
Oh yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
It's Colin fucking Farrell, man.
That's what I'm saying. Ain't no budget Christian Bale.
Budget Christian Bale. Like,
Yo, mama's budget.
Oh,
Christian.
no, interesting story too on the imagination of Dr. Prometheus, whatever. That's it was Heath Ledger shooting that film, but he died in the middle of it. So they got him. Who's the guy from Total Recall?
Colin Farrell. Well, I mean,
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Jude Law, and somebody else, and Johnny Depp, and they all kind of like played him.
Johnny Depp's in
kind of in a weird way in this one, just to like fill in for Heath Ledger.
Wow,
it's pretty interesting. It's actually a good. It's pretty good.
I'm not saying Colin Farrell's a bad actor. I think he's a good actor.
Was he perfectly casted for this?
Sure. I mean, I don't think it was an easy choice. I think that's where you pick a Colin Farrell to turn him into something who he's not.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, that's what I dig.
I'm like,
that's what
I
I
love
dig.
his
Do you think
performance.
that this was Yorgos pushing Colin to like gain weight and like really dive into the character, or do you think that's Colin that
Both.
he felt?
I think it's that.
And that's the beauty, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna go out on a limb on this. I think it's him trying to be. I don't know if you noticed that with Matthew McConaughey, where he stopped wanting to take the romantic roles.
Yeah, he did like a year and a half hiatus and kind of took a beating for it.
I think that's Colin Farrell on this one. Like,
I agree.
He's trying to do these little roles that he's not known for.
Entourage explores this sentiment very well. Entourage explores the Vinny Chase the movie star and Vinny Chase the actor.
Well,
Entourage explores the he has this whole conversation with Ari Gold on like, hey, am I a good actor? And he's like, that's yet to be seen, but you're a movie star.
Yeah.
And that's my point is Colin Farrell, the movie star, but this is Colin Farrell, the actor.
Ooh, yes. 100. Ooh, I love that. I love that.
That's the point. That's what I love. I love that challenge as a director to take a high profile. I just screened The Smashing Machine. We just screened The Smashing Machine.
Yeah.
With Dwayne Johnson. God, that man's going to get nominated for an Oscar. He's going to get nominated for an Oscar, Castro. You'd love that film.
I heard that Marty called him.
Yeah, Marty called him I think I read somewhere for a mob film set in Hawaii.
No, but also to give him credit for this one.
For the Smashing Machine?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I bet. I mean, he's casted him in this next film. He must have made an impression.
I think he was the one that said it's the best performance of the year. I think
it might be. I'm sitting there right now.
Really?
I'm absolutely sitting there right now. Yeah, I think so. But anyways, I think that's the point. I think you get a Dwayne Johnson, quite literally the highest grossing star of our generation.
Exactly.
Really?
And yes, dude, he demands the highest paycheck of anybody right now. To fucking $100 million pay or like $40 million paycheck for $250 million movies, He's the highest grossing star right now.
Wow.
So to get that guy and stick him in a Benny Safdie film that probably paid him $1 million,
but just so you could change
that performance was fucking incredible. That transformation. Get away from the green screen and do a role. So, anyways, yeah, I think Colin Farrell is perfect casting for something like this. The Lobster.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'm still living with it.
No, I think you're gonna live with it for a while because it's definitely a movie I wanted to pick just for the sake of.
I just don't want it to be a cop out. I'm trying to really.
No, I had to live with it for a while too, and honestly, I think it's one of those films that when you visit at different chapters in your own life, you're gonna see different perspectives. Yeah. I remember watching this I remember watching the single and I'm watching it now, and there's two different sides of the coin. And I'm also gonna say that watching it being maybe fresh in a relationship, watching it later on. Two different sides of the coin because it really does explore that. Whether or not you realize all that commentary is there,
right?
Watching it again, you start to find the little sprinkles. I think something that's really, really powerful is the moment when the manager of the hotel and her partner are in bed, and it's like, well, how much do you love this person? From a scale of 1 to 15, which
14.
sounds
14.
Which sounds odd.
Yeah, why would you pick?
Honestly, dialogue choice wise, I think it's a matter of if I wanted to give you a question, get an honest answer, I can't give you something that feels. Yeah, I can't give you a 1 to 10 because then you'll just say, oh, 10. I have to give you an odd number, so you have to rethink about it. And then it's like, oh, well, 14. Not the max, but really close. And then,
that's an interesting choice. Yeah,
it builds up and it says, oh, but, could she live without you? And it's like, no, but I could live without her. And all the beats there up to the shot.
For sure.
To you guys, you're freaking out about oh man, like how are they going to survive? They're blind and all that kind of stuff. I'm thinking about the scene where both those couples
have to live with that.
Yeah, like
choice that man made.
imagine. And then plus, what do? You know what? So interesting. Think about it. The manager of this hotel that's run for lonely people wants to divorce her husband, but they would both be subject to going back into that hotel. And who would want them after all that they've subjected everybody else to?
Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh.
That is so powerful, so heavy
Holy.
and all that. And it's kind of like putting a mirror that, like, for all the people who say, like, oh, you need to be in a relationship and stop being single and all that kind of stuff, and they're in a relationship, the second they're single, do you want to give all that advice back to them? And, like, say, like, oh, okay, did that work? Did that feel better? And then even the whole lies and everything like that. Like, once a lie is cracked open, it's kind of like, can you really go back in time?
Splinters.
Can you, yeah.
Oof.
And that's
From being in a relationship,
to me,
no
there's
way.
so many elements in that film that I look at, and I love the reflections. I love the conversations. Like we talked about, like we used to talk about in the early episodes, like just the fact that it could make this conversation, I think makes it a great film.
Absolutely.
Like, absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
Any rating changes? I'm at an 8.4. I'll go up a point. Touch of a point.
I'll stay at a 8.7. I think it could be better. I think that there's elements that could be improved.
Sure.
And parts that maybe I don't like due to the way I enjoy, again, the style, and maybe there was too much of that and there could be more exploration. But it's a super solid film.
Absolutely.
I'm glad we could kick this one off for Sci-Fi Month.
Yeah.
This is not a cop-out. I give it 3 points extra. 3.3 extra. 7.3.
7.3.
Just because this is why I do this podcast with you guys. I love hearing you guys' take on it. I really don't see some of it, but it makes sense. And yeah, that's why I love doing this podcast.
And we love your perspective, guys.
Yeah,
So there's so much to say about everything. And the performances in this film,
For sure.
There's so much to say.
So yeah, I'll give it a 7.3 because you guys have some good points.
Any other rating changes?
A 9. I'll keep
We're
it.
happy.
Yeah.
You keep it at 9. Megathy.
No, nothing else. Nothing else to add.
No, I just like the fact that I just realized that after they discovered the diary or the book she was doing, the dialect stopped.
Definitely a choice.
Yeah, I was just like,
Definitely a
oh,
choice.
shoot, I didn't think of that.
Great
Wow.
choice.
It makes it punchy. I think,
Yeah.
again, the addition of
Sure.
the narration and then the absence of it makes the whole thing heavy.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah, it does.
I to me, I think about the fact that even in the dialogue, as simple as it is, we see the scene where they're together and they're playing the touch it, guess it. What is it?
Yeah.
Like
touch it,
win
guess it,
game or
okay.
something like that.
Touch it, guess it. Yeah,
Yeah, it was something weird like that.
Touch it, guess it, think, win.
Yeah, something
Yeah.
like that. But they were playing that game, and in the next scene, we see them together again. But she's like, "It's been 3 weeks since you've brought me like
A dead rabbit.
Yeah, like, and being like, "Am I not enough? Like, what's going on? And all that kind of stuff." And it's
also a
simple things.
commentary on romance.
Yeah, and
you
how
know.
simple it is. You know, like I brought you your favorite thing to eat, and you haven't done that in a while. Like, are we good?
Is it the flower argument amongst relationships and that type of thing.
like, but again, there's this quiet that happens after the narration's gone. You know, there's a quiet that
almost like
settles in the relationship. You know,
like an exploration of settling and an exploration of like, is the romance gone?
yeah.
And what's more romantic than writing about the one you love?
Yeah.
You
it's
know,
like
and
a
once that's
fantasy.
gone,
Yeah.
Like the fantasy and the love and the imagination is like dead.
it's a representation.
Yeah,
I
it's
think it's a
like,
commentary on the
wow.
lack of or the romance fleeting. And he talks a lot about how when he's talking to the parents of the girl and saying like, yes, like even if we didn't have children, our 4 children, our fictional 4 children, we'd go on trips that would revamp the intensity of our love like if it were in the beginning. And he talks about romance, how people expect it to be when you go on a 3-day cure-all trip. And this is really cool. It's really cool.
I think I'm gonna say at 8.8 still.
Okay.
I actually do want to watch it again.
Same.
I don't know, something about this movie. It gave me like that. I guess that's what it is. Dystopian sci-fi.
Yeah.
Like it reminded me of Logan's Run, which I want to watch again.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys have ever seen Logan's Run, but it's it's like dystopian sci-fi film. And I don't know, I really
It leans
appreciate
into the
that.
genre. It leans
Yeah,
into
it's a bleak society.
Yeah.
And like I don't know,
a little more Blade Runner-y.
it's pretty cool.
It is really cool.
I really
It's
liked
just-
it.
yeah.
So.
Quick question: why did they start making out like that in front of the parents?
Because that's love. When you can't contain yourself. And this is
But
even the safe space. They
but
won't
even
get
knowing,
penalized for it here. They're actually like.
But even knowing that the leader of the force is right there.
When you can't contain yourself.
Yeah,
Because
that's
at least
good.
you can
That's
justify
good.
it.
And also,
Still, like,
no, even when something as simple as that, like look
Passion.
I
at
love
the
it.
fact that the rest of the time they interact with anybody, especially like going, like he went from a place where people are actively trying to find love, but even to him, like he doesn't take it as seriously because it's like, this sucks. I don't like playing this game where it's like, yeah, like I have to go up to somebody and be like, I like your hair. And they're like, yeah, yours doesn't look the same. Like that game sucks. But then he goes to a loner society where it's like, oh, you have to listen to techno music and dance alone, but you can hang with us.
That's also a commentary on performative relationships, right? People who only act like they're in love in front of other people.
oh,
You know? And that's kind of what they're doing, right?
Yeah,
to sell this image.
to make it seem like that.
But they're not, right?
Yeah.
But then until they are, or you know what I mean? Like there's a weird.
So it's passion, right?
Yeah.
You can't control
and
it.
they're behaving like teenagers.
Right, right.
They
Like
really
it's
are.
like
definitely how I took
rebellious.
it.
It's like when you're a teenager and your parents don't let you go out
Yeah.
with that boy by yourself.
But it makes
you,
it that much
You
more.
go out with your friends and you take advantage. You don't even
You
care.
meet
You start
him.
dry humping in front of them. You
Yeah.
don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
you're like
exactly.
making up for that
For sure.
time
It's
you're
that
not
passion.
having.
Is anybody
True, that's
going to
good.
market
Young
the
love.
fact that he's dry humping a boy in his teen years? That's
How
what
are you
Eric
dry
just-
humping boys in your teen years?
Whoa,
Eric?
whoa, whoa.
Yeah. Professional.
That's
I-
what
Go
he said.
Hold on.
watch.
You said something. Why did you want us to pick an animal?
Oh, right.
Oh,
Well, I mean,
I want everybody to pick an animal. What animal would you be?
Even comment too.
And in the comments,
Yeah, who'd you pick?
After liking and subscribing,
Yes.
mainly subscribing.
Do it now.
Yeah, we want to hear from you guys. Like, what is your animal you'd pick in this dystopian
Come on,
society?
we've all thought about that. Come on.
To find love,
Let's
give
go.
give another crack at finding
Round the
love.
room, Meg.
So I've noticed that in the movie, after you're made into the animal, they let you out in the woods. So
Yes,
dude,
yeah.
random
Fuck off, kid.
exactly.
You know what? The fact that
So
he
we
truffle
saw
pig.
ponies, we saw camels. I'm gonna be a
A
raccoon.
fish.
A pig.
I'm gonna be a raccoon.
Raccoon.
I would build into the forest.
The
and be
natural
like,
thief.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
Nice.
oh, yeah.
Trash
I'll be-
panda. Eric?
Trash panda.
I'd be a T-Rex.
No, you can't
No,
be a
you
T-Rex.
cannot, bro.
We're
Why
turning-
not?
You're not
because
gonna reach
it's not
stuff.
around anymore. It's
It's
not
a
around.
real
fucking-
animal.
They're
It's a-
extinct.
A
What do you
real
mean?
animal.
No, that's
that
it.
that thing has been there for
Hey.
centuries.
It's a
And-
sci-fi. They could
You
clone
can't
that.
No,
masturbate
no.
with those
And
little arms.
they-
This
even
isn't
talk about-
Jurassic Park, Eric. I know how much you want it to be Jurassic Park.
It
You're
has to.
telling
It has
me-
to be a present animal.
But you're telling me
In the
a
movie, they even
fucking-
talk about animals going
They
extinct.
have a
so.
fucking machine in this movie that turns humans into animals. It's
Yeah,
so-
but
it's
they
a
have to get the
far-fetched.
point.
DNA.
All right,
Okay,
all
this is
right.
not Jurassic Park, Eric.
You could be
So-
a black
I'll
You could be a chicken. That's the closest thing to a T-Rex we got right now.
panther.
Oh, God.
Alligator.
Salad chicken.
Black
Ballot
panther.
chicken.
I'm gonna be a wolf.
Wolf.
Yeah.
Oh,
And a lone wolf. Say a lone wolf.
lone wolf.
They don't survive.
McQuaid.
Me, I think mine's good. An octopus.
Ew.
Octopi,
No,
octopi.
Who are you trying to squid? Who are you trying to
I'm an
spray on,
actor,
man?
dude. I
You're
gotta
trying to hentai?
camouflage.
Yeah,
I
he
gotta.
has camouflage.
Who are you trying to ink on, man? Like, what are you? What are you
I'm
Oh
trying
my
to. I'm
God.
all
You
over the
said
place.
octopus,
This
not
is some
squid.
hands.
Jeez.
oh, you're.
True, true.
He's trying to
No,
hentai
don't
this
octopus.
shit,
Don't they
man.
squid? Don't they ink?
You
Don't
know,
they squid?
I'm
Don't
juggling.
they-
squid.
I'm a squid.
I'm
So
juggling a
they
lot of
throw
things in my
ink-
life.
They throw ink at you when predators are gonna go at them. So
Yeah.
it's like basically it's like a curtain for them to
Yeah,
run.
but octopuses will like
Octopi.
mold into things and
Yeah.
then camouflage.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh,
Change
also,
colors.
Japan
mold.
considers them an intelligent species. Like you cannot eat them.
They're very great problem solvers.
Yeah. They have feelings.
Critical thinker.
And lots of tentacles.
They feel sad when like their octopeople die.
Yeah.
Oh, and they use it for like the World Cup.
So
don't
you
they?
basically want to be a smart human inside a
Yeah, like
squishy thing.
yeah, no.
Yeah, dude.
All right, I dig it.
I also want to be an underwater creature.
An
but-
octopi.
But Carlos, what do you want to be? Dog,
Yeah. No,
I was about to pick a dog.
I'd be a monkey.
monkey.
You're
I'd be a
already a
monkey. I
monkey.
just exactly.
That's-
it's just the closest
and you were
transition.
judging his
without
spirit animal?
thinking too hard.
You want to shit on your hand and
I
throw it at
really
people?
do. I mean, it's just. It
We've all
just
been there,
sounds
right?
like a lot
Wait,
of
wait,
fun.
wait a minute. Do you mean like what kind of monkey? There's
Chango.
many species of monkeys.
You know, an ape.
An ape.
I think an ape.
What ape do you want to be?
Or maybe like a baboon. You know,
Bro,
That's a
ass
monkey.
out all the time, mad for no reason.
well, they're not mad. Have you ever seen a monkey in its habitat? They're just
A
chilling.
bamboo?
What?
A bamboo.
Have you seen bamboos? Have you seen Tarzan?
Baboons. They're just chilling, dog.
No, dude.
Tarzan's a cartoon. Oh yeah, that's me.
That's the
No,
most
that's-
That's my
short-tempered
dog.
animal.
Orangutans, man. I'd be a fucking orangutan just
Those are
chilling
cool.
in my
Those
hay.
are cool, yeah.
You
My
should be a
hair.
silverback
They seem
gorilla.
like they have a lot of
Silver-
knowledge.
Yeah, exactly. You're just like
Dude.
you're smart-ish.
Okay,
and it's the
orangutan, I'm
closest
cool.
thing to a human. Anyways,
I feel like
Yeah.
a silverback gorilla is a good choice because at least you're not gonna get like ripped apart like all the other monkeys.
Well,
Like
wait a
the-
minute. They might pin you against
who are you
100
guys
people.
seeing? Where are you guys seeing monkeys get ripped apart?
Chimpanzees.
Dude, apes
Movies.
are
Where?
Movies, because we're
Yes,
homophobic.
No.
just because you watch Planet of the Apes does
Have you
not mean.
Have you not heard like the horror stories of like people owning chimpanzees? Like they
And them
tear
just
their
freaking
owners
out for no
apart.
reason,
No,
yeah.
no, no. But he's saying, do you got somebody's saying like the monkey tearing up, getting torn apart by
Oh,
another
no,
animal?
that
Oh,
happens,
no.
and they cannibalize.
Dude,
Yeah.
they're like the thieves of the jungle. They
No,
go around
they're-
stealing your food and doing
They're
your
stealing
shit.
lives,
that's-
not stealing.
No, that's raccoon activity.
Dude,
like,
take some
not in the jungle.
biology
but-
classes, man.
What are you talking about? These, like, you go to Costa Rica or you go to fucking, like, monkeys are prevalent anywhere and they're smart fucking creatures. They're just, like,
I
swinging
think-
around doing some
okay,
shit.
fine. If you're gonna be one of those Asian monkeys, like
Wow,
the ones
what'd
where-
you
That's
to
South
say, like-
American. What do you mean?
No. I'm
Hey,
just
you
saying,
know?
like over in Asia where they have a lot of monkeys, but like people give them fruits and they steal their hats. and
Yeah,
walk away.
dude.
That's
That
fun.
sounds like a lot of fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm chilling.
Now just mention that monkey species name, please. Everything.
What?
Asian monkey.
The whole name of the species.
I don't know. What
I'm
is
just
it?
joking, man. All right, let's move on.
I'm just kidding. Shut up.
Wrap us up.
I would be a jellyfish.
You took that from me.
Sandra wanted to
Sandra
be
said
jellyfish
that.
as well.
Yep, jellyfish.
Why? Because you're gonna live forever. You know, you don't have a brain. You don't have
Yeah.
Just chilling.
floating.
Did you ever see that meme? Or
Straight
it's
chilling.
a guy where it's like, this pill will give you all the intelligence you ever need. And you'll see the truth of the world. This one just makes you an idiot. And he takes like the idiot
Yeah,
pill.
yeah,
and he's
yeah.
like, fuck.
Hey, man.
It's just vibing out. You know, it's because I went to the aquarium and just watching the jellyfish just like exist and float around.
the thing that they say? Oblivious is or
Ignorance is bliss.
ignorance is bliss.
Yeah,
is
and
bliss.
like they just like float around.
I dig it.
And
And
then
that's
they-
what I mean about monkeys too.
and
Though
then they
they're
just kinda,
intelligent.
like-
they're just picking their belly buttons and
No,
shit.
and
You know,
then
they're
they're
not
like-
doing anything. I'm down.
Nobody eats them.
If you look at how
Exactly. Who the fuck wants to eat an
real
ape?
quick, I know it's dumb. Look at the reproduction cycle of a jellyfish.
A la fregada.
Yeah, no. Like all they do is that they just kind of float, land, and then it sprouts this weird plant thing to turn into a jellyfish. Like they're just weird.
They just shit out a baby.
Yeah,
Essentially,
and then I
that's what you're digging.
Oh, and then if you listen to my dad, because he's really into ancient aliens, that they're like, oh, we cannot figure out why this thing exists on Earth.
Yes,
It's so
it's
weird,
pretty
and
interesting.
bizarre.
Wait, what? You want me to?
no, this is not
up-
National
no,
Geographic.
no.
Look up jellyfish reproduction.
Does this sound like the Discovery Channel fucking podcast, hello?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. But yeah, I'd be a jellyfish. I think if I wasn't that, I'd be an otter because
you look like an otter.
no, because like
That's
You look like an aardvark. You look like Arnold. Look at you.
dude. I love the fact that they like. I think otter was like my first like wholesome choice because like
You want to just cuddle with
Dude.
your homies?
It's so weird. Look at the first one. I still look at this and I'm trying to understand how the jellyfy go into this
The
cycle. But
Jellify?
yeah, no, but
The
like
tentacles.
otters hold hands. Like I could
They
probably
do.
find love in the next
That's
like
true.
life. Yeah.
I also wonder, like, wouldn't it be smart to do your research? Like, I'm gonna be dropped in this fucking forest. Who's in this forest? Like, you know, geographically, like, what am
Is
I?
it Madagascar?
Do you
or
imagine?
fucking-
The fucking llama's not gonna find love. I'm sorry. The fucking llama's not gonna find shit.
you know what's
Llama, it's a camel.
Or a camel.
You know
What
what's
was it? A
sad?
camel.
Camel.
I thought it was a llama. It was a
Yeah, it
hairy
looked like
camel.
No, but you know
Llama.
what? Like when you think about it, imagine how crappy. Like, oh, he's a lobster.
Who the fuck picked a pig? You know, this big ass pig ain't finding love, dog.
Like he can eat whatever, you know. Like
But
he
he's
just-
eventually get
And
eaten.
they
The
find
point is to
truffles.
take another crack at finding love, right? Isn't that
Yeah,
the point?
but the fact that like this guy's gonna get chucked in the forest as a lobster and
Fuck it. But he said, what did he say? Is I picked a lobster because I like the beach. I like to swim.
And they live for 100 years.
And they live for 100 years.
Well,
I
that's
like to
assuming
play.
you don't get picked
Also-
up, right?
Like, geologic or not geologic. In terms of your age, do you just get turned into a 40-year-old lobster? Like that'd be a
true.
shitty deal.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, yeah, like,
no,
what if you pick the dog and you're like 50 and you're already like 15 years old?
That's what I'm
dog and
saying. You're like
gonna
a dying dog. It's just shitty. Go watch The Lobster. Go watch The Lobster. It's definitely worth the watch. Definitely worth a few
Like and
watches.
subscribe.
And comment.
Yeah.
Comment.
Next week, we'll have Michael Head, our resident sci-fi expert, bringing
man.
2
I like that guy.
recommendations that he really digs, that he thinks we need to screen.
2 times more head than you've ever seen on this podcast.
I mean, who doesn't want one head?
Who doesn't want Head?
Yeah.
Yeah, Daddy. Michael D. Head. Not joking. That's his name.
I know, but Michael doesn't say that.
He does. That's how he introduces himself. Michael Head will be on the show. We'll talk about the Endless and Primer.
Get ready for the head.
Get ready for the Head.
I'm always ready for head.
I'm always ready for the Head. Who do we love? Head. Where do we want it?
Head.
Absolutely. Next week we'll do that, and then we're gonna end Sci-Fi Month with Fritz Lang's Metropolis, and I'm so excited to talk
perfect
about that
finish.
film with you guys. Thank you for tuning in to the WatchTower Film Podcast. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
everybody.
Love you guys.
You son of a bitch.